Hello everyone, I'm Marty Chinesky, and today is September 16th, 2020. This is my first show without my buddy Ken Montroy, but I have a new buddy Ken here, some guy we found in the parking lot. He thought he wanted to do a show. I want to introduce Ken Brown to everybody. Ken, I've known him, our daughters played sports together, he's helped me coach. Welcome to the show, Ken.
Hey, how you doing, Marty? It's good to see you. Super excited, man. I'm glad you found me outside.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here and talk sports. Let's talk about the wrap-up.
Let's do that. Your background real quick. I know you have two daughters now in college. What's that like living with two daughters hogging the bathroom all the time? I only had one.
Yeah. And you were lucky because I have four daughters, but you're right. Two are in college currently, and then I got an 11-year-old that's still home.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then I got an 8-year-old son. So it's super busy at our house, and you're right. We did have to add a bathroom just to make things a little more comfortable while the girls were there. But they're going off to school. I got one at Michigan State, and then I got one at North Carolina A&T.
Go green.
Go white.
I had one at Michigan State, and then I have one now at Michigan.
Go blue.
Yeah, there you go. And they are best friends, my daughter and your daughter.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
She goes to state when the football team was there, and
yeah.
Your daughter has come down to Michigan.
Yeah, they've been to Ann Arbor. So no, that's exciting. What are you thinking about the Big Ten starting this week?
Yeah, the interesting. They had a lot. I don't know. It's gotten so crazy, but with COVID, you have to take precautions. I mean, wear your mask, people. Okay, don't leave home without it. And but they're gonna. The NFL's doing it. You know, the NHL's doing it. NBA's doing it. Baseball's doing it. So let them do it. You know, as long as they're safe, it's going to be interesting. They're only going to play about 6 games, 7 games. How are they going to do that?
I think it is 6 games. I think the difference between the NHL or the NFL or Major League Baseball, those are all pro sports, right? So I'm kind of like, why are we doing this college thing? And I feel like they really feel pressure from the SEC and the ACC because they never back down.
Right.
You know, so as a sports fan, definitely I'll be excited to watch, but I'm hoping they're taking all the precautions necessary, you know.
And I will say that they have eliminated the Patsy games, you know, where all schools do it, okay? They play Western, okay, and run up 70 points on Western and Central and all that. I remember going to a game with my son Nick at MSU, and it was like Central, and it was like 72-14 or something. Everybody gets to play in that one, you know. So they've gotten rid of those games. It's all going to be all Big Ten, so it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting, but with no fans, you know, that home court advantage kind of wanes. Yeah, I would think.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, going from not having 100,000 people in the big house to whether it's 10,000 or 0, you're definitely affecting change in the crowd and the atmosphere for the team. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll still watch it, obviously, but I'm hoping they're safe.
Well, and the high school season starts Friday.
Yeah.
The high school season kicks off. They started practicing again last week, and they're kicking off Friday, and we're playing who?
Woodhaven. Wyandotte they're at Woodhaven.
They're at Woodhaven. That's going to be a tough matchup. Woodhaven is always solid, and I don't know how many fans on the indoor sports. You get 2. Okay. Volleyball, you get 2 per kid.
I got you.
And I don't know what they're doing with the outdoor sport.
Yeah.
But like I host a sports talk show. Can I go watch?
I think you need to so that you can get the information and bring it back to the show.
Well, they have a show for that.
Okay.
They got guys that sit in. The coach sits in and talks football every week.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
So, yeah, they have a show for that. So we try not to step on them too much.
Right. It'd be interesting. I know that they talked about kids wearing masks under their helmet. You know, that's where I last heard that they were going to make it mandatory to have the mask on underneath the helmet with the mouthpiece. So
with the mouthpiece and the chin strap, I will say that they were wearing them. The photos I saw online, in some of the soccer matches this week. Some kids had masks on. I don't know if all kids. The pictures I saw might have been hanging. A couple of the kids might have had it hanging down here. But there's a lot of running in soccer, a lot of running in football.
Yeah.
But they, at least in football, they get to stop and huddle up.
That's true.
It'll be interesting to say the least. But I wish the Bears nothing but the best. I mean, everybody's in the playoffs, so strategically, I mean, you don't really have to win any of them. You're going to get in, but the better seed you have, the better off you are, I would think.
And if I'm not wrong, I believe that Wyandotte actually lost to Woodhaven last year, so it's kind of like a revenge game.
Yeah, Woodhaven's solid. They had the one kid could run. One kid was a big 200 and some pounder that could just run you over. Yeah, they had a big boy. One of them teams, Carlson or Woodhaven, I'm not sure which. That was a year ago. Come on.
Yeah.
That brain cell never had a chance.
You're silly. Hey, but I think that Wyandotte's always had good teams, and as long as they run to the ball, they'll be fine, right?
Now, one more thing before we get going on local. Is your daughter up at school at State? Because mine's up at Michigan. She's up there?
So the interesting thing about State is they actually had the kids come back to campus, but then they wouldn't let them stay in the dorms. So she happened to move off campus to a on-campus apartment. Right?
Oh, okay.
So she's fine. They're definitely social distancing, and I just pray that everything's good, man. It's going to be a tough year for us all.
In U of M, Julia went up there, and they test them all the time. And if someone tests positive, they have a quarantine building. So then that kid goes, and he or she moves their stuff into a quarantine building and has to stay for like 14 days or however. Yeah. Interesting concept too. I just don't bring nothing home to Dad. I'm 60 years old. Okay.
So the weird part, talking about North Carolina A&T, my daughter plays softball there, right? So they're doing it where they're in small pods of people. So you weight lift. Me and you are a team. We weight lift everywhere. When we go batting practice, we do that together. They just started team drills Monday. So they're starting to bring more kids in, but they're being tested weekly. So
that's the daughter that pitches for them?
Yeah, she pitches.
That's the one that couldn't get in the lineup in Wyandotte?
No, she actually went to Detroit Renaissance. But
it's good. Because she couldn't get in the lineup for Wyandotte? Okay, enough of that.
There you go.
We had to get a dig into the softball coaches. They're my buddies. Yeah. Soccer started up last week, Monday the 14th. Western Wayne Athletic Conference kicked off with a great rivalry. Dearborn Heights Crestwood went over to Melvindale. Last season, Crestwood edged out Melvindale for the conference championship. Melvindale was state runner-up. Turned out to be a heck of a heated affair. Cardinals beat the Crestwood Chargers by a score of 3-0. The game, however, was called with about 5 minutes to go in regulation because the play on the field was unfortunately overshadowed by a little bit of rough play and not good. They cut the game off with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Those two teams don't like each other, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it must have been rivalry week one, right?
Yeah.
It appears that with 9 minutes left in the first half, they actually got into their first altercation, and then it resulted in 8 red cards. And that seems like it's hard to do. That might be the royal flush, right? 8 red cards. But the 2 of the red cards went to Melvindale, and the players briefly left the bench. They also got red cards and got kicked out the game. They ended up playing with only 7 players. So
there's 11, I think, on a soccer team.
Yeah, it's 11, just like football. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so and that included the goalie, so they still had a shot, right? Score ended up being 3-0, and hopefully everybody's safe and won't get suspended for next week.
I understand the scoring was all in the first half. I understand Crestwood had some goals disallowed by offsides. Coach was, it was, as the coach for Crestwood said, it was very disrespectful what happened. Kids will be kids. We can say that. We were kids once. But it's starts at the top, you know, and I take full responsibility for the girls I coach in bowling. You know, I take full responsibility when we coach softball together.
Sure.
You know, I would get on umps every now and then.
Yeah, once in a while.
But, you know, it's rec ball. You should behave a little better.
Yeah, you got to
Marty.
pull them in. You got to pull them in.
That's right.
No, yeah, it's definitely going to be on the coach, right? Those are kids that are playing, and you just got to lead by example and hope that they're listening to you. So.
And they'll be in the finals, those two teams again, I'm sure.
Right.
You know, Melvindale lost a lot of seniors, but they just beat them 3-0. So they've got a good program going there. You know.
Yep. Sounds like they got Bob Probert on their team too, right?
Yeah, sounds like it. The Bruce brothers.
Yeah, something. They got something going over there. What are we?
Oh yeah, swimming started.
Swimming started. The high school girls swimming and diving season got underway on Thursday, September 10th at Woodhaven High School. The host Warriors welcomed in downriver foes, Flat Rock and Riverview. Riverview won 8 of the 12 events, so they end up outpointing everyone. The Pirates defeated both Woodhaven 59-43 and Flat Rock 81-15. That's a blowout. Woodhaven actually defeated Flat Rock in their head-to-head matchup by a final score of 76-22. Looks like Flat Rock has some work to do.
They do have a good swimmer though, Lauren McNamara. She won the 200-yard individual medley, where they do freestyle, backstroke, all of it, you know. She not only set a Woodhaven pool record, but also qualified for Division III state championships.
Week one. Day one. That's how you do it.
Then she finished first in the 100-yard butterfly, again setting a pool record at Woodhaven and qualifying for states in D3. Her time in this race would have been good enough to qualify in Division II.
Wow.
She did a 100-yard butterfly in a minute 1.
Wow.
So
tell me her name again.
Her name is Lauren McNamara.
We're looking for her on the Wheaties box or something.
One of these days.
Yeah.
And she's part of a 6-person crew for Flat Rock Girls Swimming, okay, and diving this season. It's the first ever girls-only program in the school's history.
Wow.
So they're building the team around Lauren.
Okay.
And the first time Flat Rock has participated in varsity swimming since 1998-99. Wow. So 21 years since they've had a swim program, let alone, oh no, maybe girls. I'm not sure.
Girls, yes.
They fielded a co-ed team in 98-99. So they haven't had any,
Swimming
we call them squids when I was in high school. They don't have many squids down in Flat Rock. But they're building a team around Lauren, and that's good. I mean, she's obviously one of the best in the state, and she can swim all year. They were practicing at the outdoor pool in Trenton. All the schools were, because it was the only place they could go to swim. Yeah. You couldn't swim indoors. And now they've limited, they're limiting that whole thing too. I think there's because of what went down when the MSHAA got the...
with respect to the executive order number 176, I believe that's what you're talking about, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer on September 3rd allowed for the immediate start of competition in girls swimming, along with volleyball, boys soccer in regions 1 through 5 and 7 of the Lower Peninsula. So they started off with that. They didn't mention what grade Lauren was in?
I don't think so.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool to
She's
go check her out.
Right?
She sounds dynamite. She's got to be an upperclassman with those times, I would think.
Well, you would think, but who knows?
Yeah, no,
Maybe
cool.
You can find out. I have
don't hurt yourself.
A lot of these schools on my Key Awards deals with, so I can always ask the AD. Yeah. I don't do Flat Rock, but I can. I'm sure the Woodhaven AD will know. David Fast. I'm sure he'll know about her. You know, because they're down that way.
Sounds like Flat Rock needs girl trophies though now.
That's right.
Might be a phone call away.
Might be a phone call away. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Okay, so golf, girls golf has been going on. Play much golf?
If I said I was a bogey golfer, I'd be a liar.
Okay.
Okay.
You watch much golf? You like watching
I
it
like
at all?
golf. My attention to baseball has my swing jacked up, man. You know, so
Oh, yeah.
I could use some lessons. But I don't mind getting out there playing 9, walk 'em, maybe drink a beer.
Have a
Right.
cocktail or two.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little,
yeah, I'm sorry.
little swing juice.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, that's
they
it.
call it a little swing juice.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes in bowling you need a little swing juice too.
Get oiled
which,
up.
Which they have opened the bowling alleys back up. And,
Did they?
Yeah, and the leagues have been meeting. My big league on Wednesday at Thunderbolt, it's 54 teams. You know, they're meeting Monday the 21st. I'm still uncertain how this is going to go down. You can't pack 54 teams of 5 into Thunderbolt on a Wednesday night at 6:30 and social distance.
No.
Not only that, it's a senior league. Every guy in there is over 50. Every lady in there they let in at 45. It's a world-class, a lot of world-class bowlers, a lot of really good women bowlers. There's a dozen women bowlers throw it better than me. Okay, and I throw it okay.
Yeah, you do.
For an old guy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I'm not the meeting. They've already had a dozen deaths in that league from this disease.
The 54 team league.
At least a dozen.
Wow.
So I don't know how they're going to play it. There's all kinds of rumors, but the meeting's Monday, and we'll see. I know some of the other leagues, Belmar's starting up. I know the Downriver Leagues, Ford Lanes. A couple of my buddies bowled Friday night. They had partitions up everywhere. Everybody wore their mask. But that is not 250 people in an establishment. No. Those are 20-team leagues, 100 people. Keep your distance, stay far apart, wear your mask when you bowl. I can do all that. I can wear the mask when I bowl. I'm cautious. Everyone should be, but not everybody is.
That's true.
You know, and like I said with my daughter, don't bring anything home. You know, not that I couldn't survive it. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know. You don't know. You're younger. You're only 48.
Yeah.
I said, don't let the hair fool you. I'm 60.
And I'm still cautious, like you. Yeah.
Gotta be.
You got to be safe. And I don't know if the guy that's running Thunderbolt's listening, but it sounds like if he has a senior league, right? Senior bowlers.
Correct.
That he should somehow try to make that all day. So sometimes we bowl at noon this week. We bowl at, you know what I mean? Just to thin out the crowd.
Well,
you know?
that's. I think they've talked about 2 shifts.
Okay.
They've talked to bowl 5:30 and 8:30. The problem is we get in at 6:30 and never get out past a little after 10.
Okay.
So there's no way you're going to space it 3 hours apart. So if you start at 5:30, you'd be lucky to get on the lanes at 9:30 because they'd have to redress them all and everything else. And I don't know. That's all going to happen at the meeting. I think that league's been together forever. I've been in it 8 years now. I turned 50. I got in at 52. A lot of my buddies bowl in that league. They dragged me in it. You know, they don't just let anybody in. You gotta. It's a invitational, they call it. Semi-senior invitational. So if you can't be like a pro bowler and get in there,
I got you.
those guys that are in there that could be pros.
Right, they sandbagged on
They're
the
just
invitation.
really, really good. They win tournaments all the time, and they could bowl on the pro tour at any time.
Okay.
They just don't, or they haven't. But golf, we were on golf. Golf, they had the final Downriver League Jamboree, which they had 4 teams. They had Grosville, Trenton. They had Trenton, Allen Park, Gibraltar, Carlson, and Southgate Anderson. And Carlson was the winner, 194, edged out Allen Park. Kristen Gubos of Allen Park. I was talking to the athletic director the other day. I was in there, and he said their golf team's competitive.
Okay.
You know, they're gonna be all right. He says they'll hang in the Downriver League. Saying when you get out of that, they qualified for states for the first time in the school history last year.
Okay.
And so this year they're looking to do the same. It's like when I had the bowling. You know, we've qualified for states after like a couple years of trying.
That's right.
You know, then you get in. Now we're on a five winning. Not winning.
5-year.
Yes.
I got you.
But you get over there, and then you're at the cream of the crop, man. We're having trouble getting past like 13th out of 18. You know, the top 8 getting to the roll-off. But same with golf, I'm sure. But Allen Park's had the best player that day. She was Kristen Gubis. She shot 43. Not bad.
That's real good.
As I would say to my daughter, not bad for a girl.
You're silly.
And she'd
be mad. She'd throw it harder than you back to you.
I used to say you throw like a girl, and Julia used to always say, you wish you threw like a girl.
Yeah, you wish you threw like this girl for sure.
She had a cannon.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
So anyway, the golf is kicked off. Wyandottes team also, DeSena said the same thing. He said our team can compete in the Downriver League, and then we see where it goes from there. You know.
I like what Wyandotte has done with the golf team. Kennedy's senior year, she played golf.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, and she got great coaching, and they had an opportunity to help her with her swing. She's still swinging it a little bit, but I seen improvement, and she was a person that didn't play
ever
golf before she got to high school, and that was her senior year.
And Julia, same thing. And then when she got out of school, I got her some lessons, but there's so many intricate parts. If you're doing it every day like high school, Kennedy's probably got a concept of everything. Julia's still learning on the concept of chipping.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the concept of putting. Yeah. But she can bomb it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take her to a scrambles and just set her at the ladies' tee and let her bomb it.
Yeah.
We got that part down, and it took, and like you say earlier about the baseball, you can't lead with the barrel of the bat, or the end of the bat.
I got you.
Like you do in golf's got to be a whole different concept. So Julia's got the concept, but just not the time to commit to golf.
Yeah.
And that, speaking of golf, Forest Acres is holding the junior invitational Saturday and Sunday this week. There will be 102 golfers will play 36 holes, all juniors. There's some interesting stats in this article. Last year's champions Justin Sui of Lake Orion and Sophie Stevens of Novi, they're returning to defend their titles. Okay, and there's 2 groups, 18U, 15U. These 2 are under 15 and won the 18U. They played in the upper division last year, and now they're coming back, and they're both in the under division, and they're playing the upper division the second year.
Wow.
So these kids live on a golf course.
No, yeah, they play it. Yeah.
They got that country club swing. I don't have that country club swing. Okay, never will. I don't take the game that serious.
Right.
Go out, like you say, have a little swing juice. We got about 5 minutes to go. The NFL kicked off last week. That was fun. The suicide pools, fantasy football. I don't do fantasy football anymore, but I was in a league in 1986 or 85 for about 20 years. Well, when I bought the store, so 15 years. And then I've been 15 years out of it. We had to get our information from the Detroit News, okay?
Oh, you're talking about the stats to write them down.
Right? And not only that, if your player was questionable, probable, you didn't know. That was Thursday.
Yeah.
Now every single pregame is telling you who's playing and what's playing. Got any hot picks for fantasy? You a fantasy guy?
Yeah, huge fantasy guy.
How many leagues you in?
Cut it down to 4 this year.
Cut it down to 4.
I'm only doing 4. Just busy with work and stuff, but Dark Side Fantasy League, we got a 20-year thing going. Trophies humongous thank you for building for us. And I'm glad that Mahomes played the opening game, and the Chiefs look good, obviously. But I think that I got a couple sleeper picks. If you do FanDuel or DraftKings or something like that.
Don't forget to get a hold of us, Local Sports Wrap Up at Gmail. No, go ahead. You got to be quick, though.
Yeah. No, but it's I think Ezekiel Elliott against Atlanta Falcons. It's not a sleeper, but it's a slam dunk. And believe it or not, I like Matthew Stafford this week against the Packers. And I think they'll be down, and I think that he'll be throwing it.
Oh, there
You know what
go.
I mean? So those are a
that's
couple little
pretzel
little,
logic.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
good
yeah.
logic. It's all about stats. Stafford knows how to bank his stats. What about suicide pools? I made it through week 1.
Who'd you have week 1?
I picked Baltimore. That was an easy one.
Over Cleveland.
Over Cleveland.
Okay.
I was looking at week 2. There's some tough. I got to still think about week 2.
Yeah.
I'm liking. The Bears are playing the Giants. I think the Giants are still an awful football team. Pittsburgh's got Denver coming in. I don't think Denver's so good, and Pittsburgh's always been solid at home. And Ben's back, so I don't know.
Pittsburgh looked good.
They
I
did.
would go against the Jets. I don't even know who they play, but I know Le'Veon
I
Bell's
think they're
out.
at home though, and I think it's one of them toss-up games. Both teams are bad. Like
Yeah.
the Jets are playing someone else just as bad as they are. As the loop goes through today on cable, Mount Carmel's Hall of Fame award show from last year will be looping through the cable show on Channel 15 here in Wyandotte. I want to mention that you can get a hold of us on YouTube. Just go to Local Sports Wrap Up. As I said earlier, I got a guy named Ken to be my partner, so I wouldn't have to. It wouldn't be so difficult on me. And then there's how you can get a hold of us. If you disagree with Ken's fantasy picks, you just email us there at localsportswrapup@gmail.com, okay? And he'll get back to you on that. Especially after you play your guy and he goes down in the first quarter.
Yeah. After you win big, send some money to Local Sports Wrap Up. Yeah, send a donation.
Wyandotte Cable.
Yeah,
Good luck to the Bears. Football season started. Ken, it just like, I haven't seen you in about a year, and it's like, we used to sit on the bench, watch our kids play ball, for years. He helped me coach for a few years when they were little kids all the time. I mean, we get along great. We talk like this all the time. He was one of my first choices. I'm going to rotate this through, though, because unfortunately I have a couple guys, three or so, want to sit in. But call it an open audition if you'd like. I think you did fine. I can tell the rest of the guys they're out. But again, thanks Joel, Caroline, everyone behind the scenes, Amy, for what they do for us. I'm Marty Chinesky, Ken Brown over there. Local Sports Wrap Up. Ken will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple
Next
weeks.
week we got another surprise guest. But thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week. And hi, Mom.